There we go.
There we go. Now we're live.
Yeah, it's really funny. So when I first started going live, I would just use like Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom doesn't tell you when you are actually totally live, right?
Right.
And there's like a 20-second delay. It's hilarious because you're waiting to go live and you're not sure if you're live, and so part of you doesn't want to say anything. The other part of you doesn't want to like be not saying anything. Anyway. So that's why I love StreamYard so much, because whoop, we got the red light. We are live.
Yeah, Suz, I remember when you first kicked off and you had those blooper reels. I feel like that was probably 18 months ago, but those blooper reels were something. Really. I think those moments make a lot of us feel braver, though, because you can stop and go, okay, she makes it look easy when it's real, but look at all of the stuff behind the scenes, right?
Yeah. Well, I realized that for a long time too, I was taking myself way too seriously. Yeah. And it's easy to do, but the more just like easygoing I am about it, the more fun I have.
Sure.
And if some people get some value out of our time together, then great. So that being said, hello everyone. Welcome to Happy Businessing with Suz and
Dr. Kristine, or just Kristine.
What the backwards? Dr. Kristine is over there. Yes. And you guys, I have information on the post itself. You have links to join our Facebook group, Happy Businessing. There are links to join Kristine's wonderful community for women in leadership. And there's some goodies on there, some free resources. So check out the post and, click around on stuff so you can get the freebies we have, learn about us. And I am going to pretend that I didn't just go live for 20 minutes. So I'm Suz, aka Susan Fessenden. No one can ever say my last name. It's fine. I hear and I see it spelled so many ways. It's hilarious. Anyway, I am here with Dr. Kristine and we're ready to rock and roll. Dr. Kristine is the founder of Shattered Glass Leadership, and she's a longtime friend.
Longtime friend. We met in higher education together.
Yeah, not as students.
No.
We were both teaching business courses at
a very small, very small college.
The college that will not be named.
Right.
Yes. But it was great because, I was looking to add people into my life that were driven and smart. And I totally stalked Kristine until she agreed to be my friend. And then recently she has become a client. And so we're, working on that new part of our relationship. It's been great. So Dr. Kristine, can you tell us about you and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I would love to. So I own and operate Shattered Glass Leadership. My focus is on women's leadership development, really assessing and helping women feel validated and owning their superpowers. I feel like many of us in our careers professionally have potentially been told to be less, be different, be just something else. And I want to tell you to unapologetically show up in your strengths.
Love it. I love that.
Our leadership practice is something that we have to work on constantly. I think sometimes when we hear that idea of leadership, we picture women in executive suites. I will challenge you to say that our leadership roles impact our homes, our community organizations, and our businesses.
Absolutely.
Whether you're a solopreneur or in the C-suite. So if you're intentional about your leadership practice, I have some stuff for you in upcoming retreats in the Pacific Northwest. And we will be expanding into other regions over the coming years. So please follow my page. I would love to stay in touch.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about your in-person retreats because, I think that women are like hungry to have this in-person type of professional and personal development experience again. It's been like forever, right? With COVID. So I'm excited about that, but you're also going to be doing other development things like speaking events and workshops and stuff like that. So I'm just really excited to have Kristine on and share her with all of you. So I'm Suz, founder of Profit Logics. We help small businesses with big dreams. Yes, we do. And by making business startup growth and strategic planning super easy with the 5 missing pieces, AKA the 5 business questions. It's a tool for all aspects of your biz. Super, super easy. So right now we're streaming to Happy Businessing. Hey fam, Women's Entrepreneur Network. Hello ladies. Shattered Glass Leadership's Facebook page. Hi, howdy ho. And Shattered Glass Leaders Facebook group. We're just getting started over there. You're growing pretty fast though. I saw that you have like 50 amazing women in there already. So that's cool.
Yeah. And it's been so fun to see the engagement kick up, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's been really fun to see some people jumping in with their ideas and sharing ideas back and forth.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And then we're streaming to my YouTube channel at Profit Logics and LinkedIn and my pages here on Facebook. So you guys, I see a few of you are watching. I would love it if you drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. And ask us a question if you want. It doesn't even have to be about today's subject. We'll hit it because we are that good. We could just answer shit on the spot. So drop your comment, say hello, tell us where you're watching from. That would make this way more fun. Okay, so the overall subject of today's show is something that I think is really important. And more and more companies have shifted to doing remote work and allowing their employees to work remotely. And, I think that we were already on that trend anyway, but then COVID sort of pushed everyone, through that a little bit faster, where now you have employees that are working from, their homes or some sort of office, not working together. And addressing, how do you keep the team feel? How do you keep a strong culture and, make people remember you're not an island. You're part of a team. We're all in this together. What are some things that companies can do? And for those of you who are micro businesses and you don't have actual employees yet, or maybe you never plan to, that's fine. You still have team members, like for instance, my company has quite a few other solopreneurs that supplement my services. And that's how I'm able to offer a full suite of, services to my clients, right? And so they're not employees. They're just really like business partners and connections. And so I've had to work hard to make sure that we also have like a culture and a team feel, even when it's maybe non-traditional working relationships. So, Kristine, what are your thoughts on this?
So it's so interesting because it really ties into a couple of things that you said in my introduction as well, where you said women are hungry for this connection. I think that we as business owners and in our large organizations, we need to be encouraging connection in and outside of our organizations, right? So that culture in remote worlds doesn't just come from the people that we're interacting with on a day-to-day basis. It comes from professional development. Professional development brings in new and unique ideas. And then the other thing I was thinking while you were talking is one of the things that remote culture isn't and never will be is meetings for the sake of meetings.
Amen.
If you don't have something to meet about that requires collaboration and accountability, put it in an email, man.
Yes, I was just having this
Put it in an email.
I was just having this conversation with my husband. Yeah.
But I
Absolutely.
think when we're remote, people feel like, well, I need to be connected, so let's like get a meeting on the calendar. Don't do that. Don't put a meeting on the calendar because you have an announcement. Like announcements go in emails. Meetings, good meetings in a collaborative remote environment are based in accountability, and everybody walks away from that meeting going, I know what I'm supposed to do. Right. And that's what we miss when we have meetings in a physical setting is people head to the coffee pot after the meeting and they go, wait, what was I supposed to do? And what are you supposed to do? Oh, okay, cool. And we miss that in those remote meetings. And so if you don't have
the time you think to yourself, well, there's an hour I'll never get back.
Or
like,
7.
Why was I here? Like literally, we could have just, this was really supposed to be a conversation for just 2 people, really, right? Or there was maybe supposed to be collaboration, but that in-person meeting didn't even allow for it. It was more of like, here's a presentation of information. Your feedback is not required or invited. Okay, we're done. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. Meetings for the sake of meetings are a waste of everyone's time.
And it will break remote culture. That will break remote culture because you are not inviting innovation. You're sucking up people's whole day with Zoom meetings. And there's been really unique and interesting brain studies about what happens to our brains with ongoing exposure to the screens, right? Like, give people 20 minutes of content, send them away, and bring them back after they've brainstormed, thought about things. Give your introverts a few minutes to process the concepts that you've just dropped on the table, and bring them back the next day to share and give everybody time to talk it out and collaborate on and offline.
Yeah. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Another client of mine does a lot of work in the DE&I space and working on training people that work in the DE&I space on, supporting them, right? So they can be better at their jobs and make more of an impact on diversity, equity, inclusion. And one of the things that they posted about this last week was, how do you get back that sense of more than work relationships when you're working remote? So, one of the things that was brought up is like, in the workplace, the physical location, you have a break room, you have a water cooler, you can go walk to someone's office and shoot the breeze for a little bit and be like, hey, did you go golfing? Oh yeah. How was that? Or, oh, what's new with your family? What's going on with the kids? This remote world, it's almost like it really doesn't lend to that, because it's almost like, all right, the live virtual meeting is starting. I feel like we need to make the most of our time and just get into it. But the more I just slow down, take 5 or 10 minutes for some small talk, the better the meeting goes. And it's weird. It's like we're actually able to make up that time. You're not losing the time, but it's because you're working on the relationship and you're showing you give a shit about your team and the people you're working with, whether it's your clients or your team members. But we also, in this post, there was a place where people were sharing ideas for virtual water coolers and how to create something like that in your organization. So one of the things that I thought was cool, my business partner, Arana, mentioned that one of the companies she works with uses Slack. Are you familiar with Slack?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so Slack's really cool. I like it a lot. I don't use it a ton, but I've used it enough. It's cool because you can do, you have Messenger, right? But you can also do on the fly presentations, meetings, document sharing. You can have different threads about different things that you can, keep up. So they use a Slack channel just for water cooler conversation. So people have a place to share pictures of what they did over the weekend, or, oh, my kid graduated, or I have a new grandchild. It's super. I loved that idea. And, now it has me thinking I need to add some Slack back into my life. What do you have any thoughts on that or ideas to share?
I think that there's a lot of different tools that can be used for that. And I think really it comes down to, is there space for humanity? Is there space for being normal? In my real life, I have teenage twins and a 7-year-old. They're all boys. Let's be honest, like I spend like 37 hours a day cooking and doing this. Like this is my real life, right? Yeah. And that's really a big part of who I am. And Lord knows, COVID, we barely all made it out alive. But having space to joke about those things and have a moment of humanity and imperfection and I think you can do that in the beginning of the meetings. I think you can do that in breakout rooms, in small groups where you don't give a bunch of like, solve this problem. Just give people time to be human and encourage it and encourage personal time away, building self, right? And there's the professional development again. And it can look a lot of different ways, with reading a book to dig into your content again, and then letting people share about it. What did they learn? That's not just the spreadsheet that you asked me to do today. Digging into more than just the day-to-day tasks so that people get above the horizon sometimes. Yeah.
I've come a long way on this because, early in my career, actually, even somewhat recently, in jobs, in my last role, as VP of Ops, we did an entire culture makeover, and I still had a hard time shifting. Like, I'm someone that wants to get in, get out. Like, let's get to the meat. Let's make the decisions that need to be made. Let's make sure everyone knows what we're doing, and let's move on. Yeah. Because, in this job and in other jobs, I had days where it was literally back to back to back to back meetings with all the different departments and vendors. And I didn't even have, I barely had time to go to the bathroom in between them and eat. There were so many days I never even ate. It's not even funny.
Right.
And so I would get in those meetings and I would bulldoze them. Like, all right, what's next? Okay, no. Oh, you're going on a tangent. Can we table that?
Bring it back.
I'll write it down. We can come back to it, but let's get back on. And I was doing that all the time.
Yeah, and absolutely.
I think I did damage because, one, I was squelching ideas that probably should have and could have come up. I was way too intense. And anyway, the softer, gentler Suz has been emerging. And, I think as leaders, we're constantly having to grow and develop and learn. And this is definitely an area for me. Like, I definitely I hate being in meetings all damn day because you don't actually have any time to do any work.
Yeah, no, I love that sticker, that meme that says I can have a meeting about it today or I can work on it today, but I can't do both. Right? Like, not doing both today. So I totally hear you. And I tend to be really task oriented as well. I have to really work intentionally to bring myself into the relationship orientation. But I think that being too relationship oriented also can be damaging, right?
Oh, yeah. Because sometimes these guys are like yip, 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 yitty, yippity, yapping during the whole meeting. And then there's 10 minutes left. And you're like, oh my God. Guys,
and you don't get things done either. And there's got to be a balance.
Decisions to make here. Yeah. Can we please get to business,
I find in my leadership practice, I have to constantly calibrate that between my relationship right? Because I lean really task oriented. And so I have to constantly recalibrate, but I have to recognize when somebody else is leaning maybe relationship oriented and coach towards the accountability of task management as well.
Yeah. All right. Wow. Wow. The time is just flying by.
It did. It just poof, gone.
Well, we didn't get a lot of comments, but I know that people have caught pieces of this. And I think that for our first show, we did pretty damn well.
Super fun. What are we going to talk about next week?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I think we should challenge some of the followers to throw something together and say, like, we'd like to hear about this in the next few weeks. And we can add it to our topics of possibility. But I think you and I can brainstorm some great stuff too. Yep.
When we have a couple more minutes, so I'm gonna use it.
Do it.
I'm using the time. I think that I got a little drained helping so many businesses that were struggling through COVID.
I'm sure.
I realized that I'm more of like a business therapist than anything else. And there have been tears, emotion, hardship, gut-wrenching stuff. And so most of my whole last year is about triage, helping people pivot, lots of pre and pro bono work, let me tell you. And so what I'm excited to do and let the show focus on this coming, next few months is, answering the questions that people have, giving the free advice that I'm often giving one-on-one in this type of format where more people can benefit. Okay. So we can have like a Ask Suz and Dr. Kristine type deal. And I think that'll just happen naturally. Oh, look, we got a couple comments here. Oh, Lay, thank you. It's nice to see you. It's been a while. She says those are very emotional situations to be helping people with. Yes. Yeah, it is. But you know what? I am just the chick for the job because I have a massive heart and I've got a lot of geek knowledge stuck up here. So a lot of times I am able to help pretty quickly. Thank you, Lee.
For anybody listening, I gotta say, like, Susan is not tooting her own horn. Her depth of knowledge in the triage space, in the solving problem space, and then in the like buck up buttercup space is it's sometimes just the kick in the pants you need, or sometimes it's the hug that you need. And I can't thank her enough for the time that she has spent with me in building my own business foundation. And this is following building a really successful business on my own with my husband. I think that the more people you have on the team, the better visibility you have to solve problems before they become problems. And that's what she does for you.
And that ties it. Thank you. That's really sweet. But that also ties into diversity of team and breadth of knowledge too, right? Diversity means a lot of things. And if you want to be successful, you need a diverse group. It takes a village. And so, having people to bounce things off of, different ideas, people that have been there and done that, I love what I do. I love that I'm able to help. And we are just getting started on yours, Miss Kristine. So
big things are coming.
We're just in the beginning. All right, you guys, thank you so much. We're going to wrap up so we don't dip into anyone else's time. And thank you for watching. Check it out. Watch it on if you guys watch this on a replay, type #replay. I would love to see that. And thank you very much. Thank you, Kristine, Dr. Kristine.
We can't wait to see you next week.
Yeah. Happy businessing, y'all.
Take care. Bye.